Real estate is such a hot topic, and every year it seems prices just go up and up and up, and more people get caught up in bidding wars. But have you ever thought there's something shady about this process? Well, in this week's Open and Honest, we did some digging, and you won't believe what we found out.
I want to start off by asking you, how long have you been in the real estate industry?
9 years.
I ask that because that means you've probably seen a lot of things, witnessed a lot of things, experienced the ups, the lows, and the entire roller coaster that comes with real estate.
It's been mainly kind of an up.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's kind of a balancing, and then there's an up, and then there's a balancing. The one thing that doesn't change is year over year, prices just keep going up.
You know, one thing that I hear about far too often are these bidding wars.
Right.
And it seems like anybody who tries to purchase a home, especially in the greater Toronto area, finds themselves in a bidding war. It seems weird to me that there's a lack of transparency. Like when you put in a bid, right, you don't know what anybody else has bid.
Right.
And so then how are you supposed to, if you're a buyer, trust that you're not overpaying if you go back for more? Like it seems a bit shady.
You know what? It should be transparent. I've been a real estate agent now for almost 10 years, but I'm also just a human living in Ontario and a consumer. It is not fair. It shouldn't, because if somebody goes in, let's just take 500,000, half a million. If there's four offers, let's say somebody offers 600,000, and then there's three other offers, let's say at 550 or 510. That person that paid 600,000 would not have had to pay 600,000 if they knew what the other offers were. And unfortunately, in this market, sometimes that's very high and almost close to an uncomfortable level for some buyers just to get into the market.
So is that legal? Like the government allows that to happen?
That's the only legal way. Right now, we don't have open bidding or an auction. You can have an auction, it's just not done in Ontario.
What happens if that listing agent were to go back to those top offers and say, hey, you're a little bit under another offer, come back with more? Is that allowed to happen? And then how
You're not allowed to say you're a little bit under, because then you're revealing what the other offers could be. What you can say as a listing agent, you can say, do you want to improve your price? That's a legal way of saying, come up $10,000 and you'll get it.
The entire bidding war process feels like it can be abused.
That's why I think it should be all open. Consumers should see what the other offers are and should know if they're paying 100,000 more than the one right behind them.
Do you think these bidding wars are what's contributing to these massive increase in house prices and home prices across Canada, for that matter?
If all of the offers were displayed, you would probably have a more gradual climb in the marketplace. I think right now we're seeing huge steps in the marketplace because of supply and demand, but because of what people are paying for houses too.
I know, Sean, you're an honest guy,
Yeah.
right? And you're honest at your profession. But and I don't want you to call out anybody, but have you ever witnessed anything that, practice-wise from other agents that probably wasn't the most right thing to do?
Yeah, like what can happen is a listing agent could say, come up $50,000 and it's yours. That's not allowed. Does it happen? Maybe.
What advice do you have for the average person who is going to hear this and they're going to feel a little bit defeated? Like, how should they maneuver all of this?
You know what? There's ways to get in the market. You don't have to buy $1 million detached home downtown Toronto. You can still get in the market, because whatever you buy in real estate, it will grow. The people that are buying these $1 million, $2 million homes, or even $700,000 townhomes, they got in the market 10 years ago and have the equity. Best advice, get into whatever you can get in, because you don't want to look back in a year from now or 5 years from now and 10 years from now and go, that was the price then, and look at the price now.
I want to ask you about potential solutions to this bidding war issue. what
Right.
other alternative options are there that the government could explore that could potentially benefit the average person looking to wanting to get into the housing market?
I think the best thing that the government can do is when you sell your house, you have to provide a certified home inspection and you have to provide an independent third party appraisal. So a bank or a certified appraiser has to appraise the home at a certain price and you get a certified inspection. So then when you sell your home, the buyers can look at what it's worth and what the condition of the home is.
Are you concerned for the state of like just access to housing?
I think housing should be a right, not a privilege. I am concerned about it. Right now, it's a privilege to own a house. I don't think that's fair. That's why the government maybe should step in, do some things to slow it down. I it's tough to get in the market. If you have a good job, two people with good jobs, maybe who knows, in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, you should be, as a Canadian citizen, be able to buy a house.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be such a privilege for just the people who have 200 in the bank.
Sean, thank you so much for your insights and for being transparent. I really hope that this does help a lot of our viewers, but also inspires the government to maybe look into some of these rules to help benefit more people. So thank you so much for being open and honest.
My pleasure. Take care.
And we did reach out to the Ontario government about this story, and they did provide a statement. Here's what it reads. There are several rules regarding multiple offer situations that are in place to protect buyers. For example, registrants are prohibited from presenting an offer on behalf of a buyer that is not in writing. In addition, brokerages must disclose the number of competing offers received to every person making a competing offer, but must not disclose the substance of those offers. The rules governing real estate registrants will be updated to better address today's business practices and consumer expectations, reduce red tape for business, and strengthen consumer protection. And of course, we're going to continue following the story on The Brandon Gona Show.